But if he blinks on me now, he blinks on me. Do I have Lincoln? If I have Lincoln Sphere, do I blink to him? What the fuck, man? This is what happened. I had Lincoln Sphere and I was Lotus Orb and he blinked on me and I teleported to the Ricky. This is what happened. This is what I lost to. This is so dumb. Because I block his blink and then I blink on him. Oh my, that's so dumb actually. What the fuck? It makes sense. It makes sense. Kinda. I mean, it doesn't make sense in that I cast. I mean, it doesn't make sense that I cast spell on him, right? After I blocked it with Lincoln's. That doesn't make sense. I don't think. I want to see if the account profile is public or private. It's private. Oh wait, I was supposed to have a coaching session right now. Yeah. Let's go. I forgot. Someone booked a coaching session now. So now we will coach a guy. I don't know what rank he is. Let's find out. I actually forgot after this game.
Hello.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
What's your name?
You can call me, you can call me Axe. Yeah.
Axe? Okay.
Yeah.
So here I look at what your goals is. Your goals is to get better at laning, last hitting, farming, drafting, late game decision making. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of laning, last hitting is important, but it's actually not the main thing you should look at. What role do you play?
I play mid or safe lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Mainly what you need to focus on is the resource management on lane than last hitting. Even high MR players will miss CS that are free, and it's usually not the reason you will win or lose a game. The things that are later on in the game are more important.
All right. So maybe if you can help me with all of that. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Right. You can send me the replays.
All right. I'll send you. Pretty low rank, by the way. But anyway.
Yeah, that's alright. That's alright. That's why I'm here to help you.
Alright, so I had this really weird void game. Hold up. So there was no support in the lane, so I was like, I want to know how could I deal with such a game, and then we just ended up winning somehow. Like we just won all the fights.
Wait, what hero are you? Void?
I'm Void, yeah. Yeah. Yes. So, like, I really want to know how could have I could have played better. Yeah, in this scenario.
Wait, are you 1v2 or what?
Yeah, my Dazzle just left the lane for some reason. Like, these things happen in this MMR. Really weird.
So this is like a common game, right, that you're playing?
Yeah. I just played just now.
It happens. Those CS are not like what you should be splitting. Like, it's not that important. Like when it's a 50-50 CS, then it happens that you lose it. If you are playing a hero that can nuke, you should nuke for the CS. When it's 50-50. What I mean with a 50-50 is there are some CS that the enemy cannot touch. They're too far away or they're focused on their own creep. And then there's CS that you cannot get as well. And then you just don't think about it. And there's this 50-50 CS where both of you are focusing on the same creep. Blasted for the night. And sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It's just based on luck, honestly. mean, it's practice and luck. Like, it's something you can work on, but it's not that important. Okay, so your dad already left you? Okay, I don't know what's happening. Let's figure what's happening. I don't know. All of a sudden, he just tipped his bottom for no reason. Okay.
Yeah, like yeah.
Okay, the main thing you need to think about when you're laning alone is you need to not let them pull, and you need to try to pull the lane back yourself if the lane is too far away. And
Hold up one sec. Can I would you be sharing your screen? Because I'm like trying to watch it on your
You
stream.
mean it's like
So
laggy?
yeah,
It's
it's kind
fine.
of
Yeah,
desync.
sorry.
So yeah.
Sorry. You see it now?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So the idea when you lane 1v2 is you want to get the lane back, and if you cannot get the lane back, you just pull. Like by design, you're not supposed to be able to 1v2.
Alright.
And also, it's also normal. The reason you miss CS is because you're nervous about. So usually when you lane, right, what happens is that you're focused on just last hitting. But when you're 1v2 or like you just play a really hard lane, you're focused on not dying as well, and that adds a lot of difficulty in last hitting.
Yeah.
So the reason you missed all these CS is not necessarily because you're really bad at CSing. I mean, you can probably get better at it. But the main reason is still that you're scared of dying. That's why you're missing the CS. You could try to pull the lanes closer, the crypts closer to you though. So here, what you should have done on this way, right? You aggro it once, but you can aggro it again. Like you can aggro it now again, and they get even closer to you, and you start hitting it. You stop aggroing it, and you cannot forfeit the CS. You have time walk. You should try at least. In my opinion. I mean, you can also just play for EXP when you're 1v2, but it's... Preferably, you want to try to get a little bit of CS.
Alright, so I just keep on like pulling the wave closer and closer, so
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah. So basically in this lane there's not much I could have done, yeah?
What you should have done, like, if you really feel like you cannot lane, like, for example, you can't touch this wave, what you do is you actually go yourself and you pull this wave. And you get the wave back for yourself.
Yeah.
It's not the most efficient, but, I mean, like, you're not supposed to be able to lane 1v2, so whatever you get is good. So right now you should be pulling the small camp, not standing here. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of just. Also, I guess one thing I can see is that you run too far away from the lane. So look here. You're missing this whole thing. Like you're a little bit too far. I don't know what you're focused on. I think this is a symptom though. Like there's something else happening. What are you doing right now? Are you like buying something or? I think you're buying something.
I was buying
I think you're
something, and
shopping.
plus I was typing to Dazzle, like I was telling him to help me and all of that, so yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
so you're unfocused because of something else. So what you need to do is you need to focus on the waves more. And unless you're about to have money for it, you can maybe. Also, another thing I do is I queue up my whole inventory from the start of the game. You can try doing that too. Because it's not really good to miss a whole wave because you're buying items.
yeah, plus I was actually pretty scared to be like near the tower, cause yeah, I missed this pull as well.
Actually,
So
one cool thing about this lane, I think, I don't know if they're playing it incorrectly, but they actually don't seem to be able to punish you, as in their heroes are bad. I mean, like, if you're laning against, like, some Marcy Batrider, you just die, right? That's why I lane against just now. But, like, I don't think Bounty and Omni seems to be able to do much to you. So, you can actually kind of lane.
alright. So, like, what's my game plan from here? Like, what do I do?
You should just try to get EXP, and then you should try to jungle. So, mainly, two things you should be thinking about is you want to get enough EXP and some farm to let you jungle. Because you can't lane 1v2. It's not possible. Doesn't matter how good you are. I mean, you can get more than you did though. But I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like you're very unfocused. I don't know what you're thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually kind of tilted. 'Cause,
Yeah, I
like,
get it.
yeah, so I was like, someone needs to come top lane. Like, what the hell? So,
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's hard to make decisions when you're tilted. But
then the Kunka just comes up and he's just standing in like behind the trees. I was like, what's happening? So,
yeah.
so
So you actually don't get a CS for like 2 minutes here after this wave.
yeah.
You're 10 and 2. When you fail that pull, but let me see. When did you pull? 20. You gotta pull a little bit early. It's 23 if you want to pull it like this. But yeah, you also a little bit too scared.
So like, how do I play this? Like, I just go and like try to trade a few trade
You
a
just
few
try
hits
to
and then I time
try to
bomb.
aggro. Yeah, no, you just try to aggro the wave as close to you as possible, so you're not laning against the 2 heroes. Or like you're at most laning one against 1 hero. Because another thing that happens is when you pull the wave, they will also aggro the creep wave if they start hitting you. And what happens then is the 2 creep waves divides. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean. But let me show you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if I see
Basically,
it.
they proc their they take their creep wave and I take like
Yeah, the 2 creep waves. Let's say you aggro this wave to your range creeps, right? If they start hitting you, they'll aggro their creeps to their range creep. And then what happens then is that you start fighting. You're just farming the 3 creeps they can get for free. You ignore ranged if the lane is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what happens after this. Lane phase is honestly not that important, especially at low MMR. Because
Right.
the lower the MMR, the more people will throw. And laning phase kills don't matter compared to later kills.
Yeah, this was actually like really a weird game because we really ended up stomping them after this. But yeah, I was
lane
like,
phase
what
is
could I have
actually
done over
lane
here?
phase is overrated. Like this case ultra farm, but it doesn't really matter. And let's see what happens.
So right now I'm rushing madness, like treads and madness. So is that the way to go? Like in this
That's completely
scenario?
fine. It's completely fine build. Yeah, I mean, I would probably, I mean, for example, I would struggle more on the lane. Honestly, they're not struggling that hard. You're just missing CS. Or like you're too scared to try for CS.
Yeah.
But for example, this way, right? This wave is in like a pretty good position, but you know, you're too scared to go for this creep. You see? Like there's no
If I
actual
go there,
there's no actual reason for you to not go for this creep. Oh my god, what the fuck just happened? But there's actually no reason for you to not go for this creep. Because you can't die for this creep. Right?
all
You
right.
just need to be a little bit more brave and stand closer to the creep. Okay, I actually see the problem in your last thing. It's not actually just because you're straight up bad at last thing. It's you click the creep. So you're playing melee here, right? So
Yeah.
but you click the creep when you're about to last hit it. But you're too far from the creep. You know what I mean?
All right. So
So I
how do
actually
I
see
take-
what you're doing here. I actually see you're too far away from the creep. But you actually right click the creep at the right timing. Like right now you're supposed to right click the creep to last hit it. But you're too far.
Oh, all right. Yeah, yeah.
So this is actually the problem with you when you're trying to last it. You're actually just standing too far away from it. You just need to stand closer to the creeps.
Yeah.
You need to be ready to last hit the creep when it's low.
Yeah.
But honestly, like if the lane looks like this, I would tell you to just jungle. You know, like if you feel like you cannot touch creeps. Honestly, you can in this game, but it doesn't really matter. Like for future games, what you should be doing, if you feel like this in your games, you should just jungle.
Alright. Yeah, that's what I like. I was like, maybe I should, because I was getting levels, you know. So I was like, yeah, I'll just get treads or something, and yeah.
You got enough
Madness
levels to
around.
start jungling. Like if you're like level
Right.
3, level 4, right? You kind of want to still stay on the lane and just get some XP. Level 5, level 6, you can jungle.
So I
Almost
just
yours.
max my third. Is that what you?
Yeah,
suggest?
I would max 3rd too.
All right.
Because they also just kind of lack nukes, is how I feel. On certain lanes, I think it's okay to max Q. But, I mean, if you max Q, you also want to be able to lane. You cannot play like this. You need to play closer to the wave and be more brave. This is good. So,
like, yep.
You know the way you're jungling right now, like you could have done it like 5 minutes ago, but honestly the fights kinda turned out well, so it's completely fine. It's just that not every game you're gonna get these fights where like your teammates are making the right move and the enemy's making the wrong move. And in those games you will just have to jungle and farm.
By the way, I actually wanted to ask you about something. Like, I've been I get ganked over here, I survive. I've been watching Envy, like play Void, and I've noticed he rushes Midas, and
That's
like
also a
whenever,
build.
what was that? Sorry.
Yeah, that's also a build on Void.
Yeah.
You can do that too.
Yeah. But whenever I try that, I really can't seem to like help my team. Like there's like no damage in the chrono, and there's
Yeah,
like so much pressure
yeah.
on the
So
team.
the biggest problem with Void players and also low MMR players in general is that they don't know how to play with their team. So the problem with Void as a hero until like minute 30 is you cannot solo kill most heroes in Chronosphere. You usually at least need one spell, you know? And
Yeah.
for example, let's say I play a Void, right? I will look at my team. Let's say I have 0 heroes that can kill with me in Chrono. It's a pretty bad Void game. Like it's just terrible Void game. I kind of just have to farm until like I have like 4 slots that I can actually kill heroes alone in my Chronosphere. But a good Void game is like, for example, you have a Snapfire, you have a Mirana, you have like whatever. Preferably a support because they can follow you. Because let's say you only order damage like a Lina, right? The Lina's not gonna follow you. But like if you tell Snapfire to follow you to your Chrono, then they'll usually listen to you. But basically, what you do in early game on Void, Chronosphere is overrated in early game. It's actually not that strong because a lot of heroes will not be able to hit in your team, and you don't have any damage in early game. So what you need is you need teammates to deal damage in your Chronosphere.
Yeah. So basically, if I go for a Midas and all, so what I just focus on then is just farming. So at times, I get flamed by my team. So I'm like, maybe I've done something wrong and whatnot. So
You don't necessarily need to AFK farm with Midas too. It's kind of the same. The item's honestly the same as Mask of Madness. The two items are a little bit different in that Midas you don't need to activate as
yeah,
much. I mean,
yeah,
you use it for the thing, and you don't
agree.
silence yourself in the fights.
Yeah.
The main reason Mom is bad sometimes is that if you jump in and you don't chrono instantly and you press Mask of Madness, you cannot chrono until after your Mask of Madness. So you will. I don't know if this has happened to you, but it definitely happened to me. It's like I jump in, I try to kill a guy that's stunned, right? Let's say someone stuns the enemy Tiny, and I try to kill him with Mask of Madness. And
Uh,
what
Hello.
happens is
Yeah,
someone else jumps in and they just die because I can't
you
chrono
actually
the guy.
broke off. I couldn't hear any of that. You just
Oh,
broke off
sorry.
for like 2 3
Uh,
seconds.
completely.
Yeah.
So let's say from what was the last word I said? I don't know exactly where I broke off.
You said you jump in with the void and you get
Yeah,
stunned.
you jump in with a void and press Mask of Madness on a stunned enemy hero, right? So it's like you don't want to chrono a hero that's already stunned.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the enemy, some whatever hero jumps in and kills you because you can't chrono anymore because you press
Yeah,
Mask of Madness.
then you're like silence and you have a
Yeah.
situation
So
there
that's the
like
problem with Mask of Madness.
you
Otherwise,
can't
in my
time walk and all of
opinion,
it.
yeah, otherwise Mask of Madness is a better item in my opinion. It actually gives you more damage in Chronosphere, and it lets you stay full HP when you're jungling, and you don't need more Mask.
All right.
But more mask. I mean, Mask of Madness and Midas is kind of the same item. And if you actually feel a very big difference between two items, I would recommend you to just buy the one that feels better.
I feel like I'm very comfortable fighting with the Mask of Madness, but yeah, like I don't know, man. Midas really, I feel like so weak while fighting.
Yeah,
So
then you can
that's
just buy Mask of Madness. I mean, you can kind of do both on both items, but you just need to know how to play around your teammates really when you play Void,
right.
because you
Yeah,
don't have enough damage until like minute 20, 30. You need like if you go Midas, you need Mjolnir to deal damage. If you have Massive Madness, you need Maelstrom to deal damage. Then you can kill supports or like 1k HP heroes. But this hero lacks a lot of damage because Void, compared to most carries, he does not have any real spells. He only has right click, and
yeah.
that only scales with how much damage you have. I mean, the items you have. Which is also why he's one of the strongest late game heroes. He needs a lot of slots. Sick chrono? Like this is like one of these classic times. Like you get a sick chrono, but you have no damage because
Yeah, like
this hero just has no damage.
I actually expected my Kunka to TP because I was like, hey Kunka, but then well, he didn't have a TP, so I
Yeah,
didn't check that.
here's the also important thing is that especially at lower MMR, in my MMR too, I actually make this mistake too. But especially at your MMR, you should only make plays if you see that everyone like there's enough numbers and that you know that it's good for you.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that whenever you TP to a fight that you will win this fight.
Yeah, like basically I should be more aware that I won't die over here or something like that.
Yeah, I mean preferably you want to kill too. So
Yep.
so let's say two scenarios, right? Let's say you go in here and you chrono here and you kill nobody, right? You kill nobody. What happens then is you're stuck in a part of the. Let's say the best case scenario after this chrono is that you stay alive. You're stuck in a part of the map where you cannot farm. And what I mean with that is that the enemy has 4 heroes here, and you're alone. You can't farm this because they're here. You can't farm this because they're here. You need to run back to where you were after you TP'd. So you TP here, you chrono, and then you need to run back all the way to where you were just now. So this TP is bad unless you kill the enemy team.
This is actually pretty like this is like complex decision making. Like this is like you've been like
Yeah.
you've thought like
So
yeah.
I will give you one thing to look at because there's too many things to think about, right?
Yeah.
The number one thing you should look at is just how many heroes you have and how many heroes enemy have.
Yep.
That's the only thing you need to look at.
All right.
Look at numbers, teammates, and enemy. Like there's a lot of things you can look at, right? You can look at cooldowns, you can look at HP, but that's too complicated. You're not gonna have that much time to think about everything. What you need to just think about is how many heroes you have. Right now, you have 0 because everyone in your team just died, and the enemy has 4, so you should not be playing here. Pretty simple. If you have like, if the enemy are 4 and you have 5 heroes alive, you TP here, you kill them all.
Yep.
That's how you think. But yeah, you kind of ruin your game by dying here. But
Yeah.
I guess it kind of worked out anyway. I don't even know what the hell just happened. But I guess they had to like
Yeah.
dive to kill you. So it kind of worked out. But I'm just saying, like I'm trying to help you become more consistent. So in this game, it worked out, right?
Yeah.
But let's say you are standing like 2 centimeters lower, like you're standing next to this creep, right? This creep, or like next to this Omnite, and you just die for free because they're not standing under your tier 2 now. Then this is just completely terrible.
Yep.
See what happens. You go back to farming, which is fine. So yeah, you should just look at the numbers to decide if you want to join a fight or not. And yeah, don't do. So this is like another like weird thing, right? Like you're kind of doing like. So when you're hitting the enemy hero, you're not farming. And another thing, when you're hitting the enemy heroes, you're risking your life. The reason you're risking your life is because now the whole enemy team sees you. It doesn't matter if you're just hitting an Omni Knight. Their Sven sees you, Rubik sees you, Bounty sees you, Ogre sees you. They can try to kill you now because they see you.
Yeah.
But like if you're just jungling, they can't see you, right? And it's like from your own experience, it's really hard to gank a hero you cannot see.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to kill a hero that's literally hitting one of your heroes. So you have 0% chance of killing Omni Knight. Unless he gets a stroke right now, and he lets you right click him for 10 seconds. So you should not even try to kill him. But you're also missing time to farm creeps. Oh, that's a really sick chrono, actually. Holy shit, this was really sick. Let's look again. Actually, Sven just ran into it. But these two guys are on the edge of the chrono. That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. We somehow just end up perma fighting from here, and we just win all the fights. It's really weird. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
game.
I mean,
Like,
some games that's gonna happen, right? But like also after those games, you're not really sure if you're just doing something right or if you're just lucky. A lot of the times,
I actually had no idea what the hell's going on, because then I was just fighting with the madness and like without the chrono a lot of times, and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
were
yeah.
just working out. So I was like playing with the flow.
yeah, I get what you mean. But in order to get more consistent, you need to have more rules in place. I say like
Right.
in
Yeah,
order for you to
so-
understand the game better, in a way.
Yeah.
So what you should be doing is whenever your cooldowns are, whenever you have item on spells on cooldown, you should be farming. Majority
Yeah.
of the game as a carry, you will be farming. You'll be farming 90% of the game. Then 10% of the time you will be running to a fight or fighting. That's just how it is. If you spend 50% of the game just running around and fighting, you're playing carry wrong. You need to pick your fights properly. And also, like, you're taking a little bit too many risks that are unnecessary. For example, I'll kill this wave, but I will not be hitting this tower. Because I don't know if you remember right now what you're thinking, but what are you thinking? Why are you hitting this tower right now?
That's actually a wrong call. That's true. I was actually pretty scared while hitting the tower. I was like, any moment someone can jump.
Yeah, so in another game you might die for hitting this tower. Right?
Yeah.
So in order to get more consistent, you need to minimize risks. And hitting creeps is the lowest risk play you can make, unless you're hitting creeps under enemy vision.
Right. So yeah, that was like I had listed in your weakness like section. Like how do I stay alive and like try to pressure the enemy? Is that not my role like as a carry? Should I be doing that? Like
You should
or not?
pressure waves when the enemy is pushing. So let's say the enemy is pushing your tier 2 top, right? You should pressure bottom, and you should be hitting this tier 2 bottom. Preferably.
Yeah.
Sometimes some heroes cannot do it. Let's say the enemy has like a lion with blink, you cannot hit this tower. Because the lion will just TP and set up and kill you with +1. Right? So then the best thing you can do is just push in this wave and let the wave hit the tower. But in certain games where like the enemy doesn't really have catch, you can hit this tower. Or like if you're just too tanky or whatever. Otherwise, you just farm. And farm is just like you just have to not die. You hit creeps without dying. One thing, you know, a lot of people think that farming pattern is complicated. It's really not. Farming pattern is literally just hitting the closest camp. Anyone can do this. The only difference between fast farmers and bad farmers is fast farmers knows when they're supposed to farm, and bad farmers are looking for fights too much. So the reason your CS is 63 is not because you're bad at right-clicking creeps, it's because you're looking for too many fights.
Alright.
Because if I'm trying to fight too much, I will also have low CS. It's just how it is. Because during the time you're fighting, you're not lasting in creeps. And also, you might die, which is the biggest reason you get low CS sometimes. If you have a death, you're dead for a minute, which is probably like 20 CS. Probably 1k gold. And, you know, dying is a very big deal in Dota. And you only die in teamfights or if you play bad and get picked off. So let's look at this. So your puck is going in, you're kinda here too. So I want you to look at numbers, right? I mean, obviously this is still the same game, you cannot just have changed your gameplay. But I'm just trying to like explain when you should be thinking about numbers. For example, here you should be thinking, we're 2, there are 4, or there's 3. I should wait. So you should not be committing. You should just stand around. Right? That's what I want you to do. Because what you're doing right now is inconsistent. Some games you will just instantly die because the enemy has 4 heroes. Let's say that a Skyref mage and a DK, right?
Yeah.
You just instantly die because you're standing in their vision. In this game, they actually have kind of shitty heroes and you kind of don't die. Because their heroes are kind of just bad. They don't have damage. For whatever reason. So what you should be just thinking about is just numbers. You're 2, there are 4. Because you saw the bounty on your sentry, actually. And you should just be, I wait or I just go farm. So if you just start time walking here and start hitting these camps, that's completely viable. That's a good play. If you just stand in the fog and just wait for more numbers, that's also a very good play. Both are viable. Just be more patient.
So I actually almost had my chrono up over here, so I was like, I wanted to be around the fight.
That's a viable thought. That's a very viable thought. The thing that's what. So if that's your thought, you should just be standing here and waiting for your chrono.
Yeah. So like
because
the
let's
puck
say
just jumped in, and that like
right?
I felt like pressure to like
Yeah.
help him. And
This is the thing though. This is the thing. You should actually assume that your teammates are stupid.
Right.
Because if you are affected by your teammates, you will stay the MMR of your teammates. So let's say you start feeding because your teammates start feeding, right? You will stay the same MMR as your teammate. Because every time they feed, you will feed.
Yeah.
So the only way you
Holy
climb
shit.
is you need to make
That's actually an insane advice because I always try to like play around the team.
Yeah. So the only way you actually climb is you actually need to think for yourself. And you need to assume that your teammates are stupid.
Yeah. Oh, one sec. It's lagging. I actually can't hear you. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep watching. Yeah, in this game you don't get punished, but let's imagine there's a DK and Sky, you just instantly die, right? And then you don't even have chrono. Like, you don't get the chrono at all in this fight. But because they have shitty heroes, you kinda get to win this fight.
Yeah, now we just end up perma fighting and we just like somehow win all the fights. It's really weird because they mess up a lot, honestly, the enemy. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I see what's happening. So you have 5 heroes here and you see them and you're like, okay, now you should be thinking numbers, right? Or 5, there are 4. We can't once before. We can fight. Is what you can think. There's also another way you can think though, which is also viable, is that you have no chronosphere and you don't want to die, so you can go farm as well. It's also viable. It's a farm here, but fighting them is also fine. The one thing though, when you're the carry and you fight, you need to make sure you are not the one going in first, because I mean, you'll probably experience this yourself. You can't just see a hero and just cast all your spells on the hero you see, right? That's usually what happens. Most people are like that. As in, like, they just cast on the first hero they see. Especially if it's a carry. Like, imagine the enemy seeing a void, right? They're like, just kill this fucking void.
They're gonna... Yeah, they'll just jump on you.
Yeah, they'll cast every single spell on you. Especially if you're the carry. So you just need to make sure that they cast spells on another hero before you join the fight. In this game, it's preferably like your Kunkka or like your Darkseer tanking all the spells. But you just need to make sure you don't die. What happens here? You got a really sick 4-man chrono.
Yeah, we walled them and all of that, and
okay, this is really cool. But so I want to give you a tip though for the future. As in, like, if you want, because when you climb up, people get smarter at the game. And the reason they get chronos here is honestly just because they're bad. Because one thing that I mean, it's a really good chrono, but the one mistake that you're making is that they see you this whole time. So,
Yeah.
so you know why that's a problem, right? That they see you the whole time when you
Give me
chrono.
your fucking money.
Yeah.
Because since they see you, they should not be letting you chrono. Like the either let's say four years are clumping up like this in my game, right? And they see me. It means that they're baiting me. The moment I time walk in here, I'm getting stunned. I'm gonna die. If this it looks like this. Yeah, if I chrono here, I'm gonna get like telekinesis into silence. I'm just dead, or something like that. Because they see you this whole time. There's no way they should be letting you chrono. So, what you should be thinking here, you should be thinking you need to wait for the track to expire and you need to run into fog. So you should be standing somewhere here, like somewhere around this ward or like around these trees. Like let's say you're standing here, that would be a really sick play. Like if you're standing in this corner here between the trees, then you can get a really big chrono. But in general, this is like just teamfight thing. Try to stay in fog. Because people just knows how to play when they see things.
Oh yeah,
And,
I was trying to kill the courier anyways.
okay, I see. That's okay. I mean, I would probably not do that, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And to be honest, here I would not be going high ground. So another thing in Dota is that the two biggest places you will throw your games. Let's say you're ahead, right? The two places you will throw your game, almost guaranteed, is Aegis and high ground. If you don't throw at these two places, you cannot throw.
Yeah. Like, I honestly, we just had so much momentum going on, like right now that.
Yeah, you're getting carried away, but like some other games you might have lost. I also honestly think this game the enemy just has a really bad lineup. I don't know actually. I feel like they have no damage, no stuns, and I don't actually know what the lineup is good at. But
So, can I ask you like about one more game which I just played? If we have time.
yeah, I mean this is 1 hour, so we will like however like
All right.
whatever we have time for.
Yeah, cool. So, I mean, this game just got over after this. Like, these guys kept on messing up and...
Yeah. So here, I would jungle. I would start farming. So the main...
but like, we have the advantage and, like, don't we want to pressure them, like, when they're dead and all? Like, right now, they're dead.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Should I be hitting the towers?
So this is a little bit more advanced gameplay, but you need to think about how much you can get under these 40 seconds. So they're dead for 30 seconds. This tower is gonna take you a lot of time to kill.
Yeah.
They're gonna almost be spawned when this tower dies. And then the script player needs to walk through your tower. Here. Like, this script player needs to walk through your tower. Now they're almost already spawned. And they're 15 seconds away. You're not killing this tier 3. You're not killing Rexus. What you're doing is you're giving them a fight on their high ground.
Yep.
So, if you can get Raxus, of course you should get the Raxus, right? But if you cannot, you might as well just farm.
Alright.
And the one thing that you need to do to be more consistent is just farm more, to be consistent. Yeah. Because it's the lowest risk play. And another thing, you should be thinking about two things when you look for a fight. I mean, actually, there's three things. One is the numbers thing, right? The numbers thing. It's the biggest thing. Like if you have 5 heroes, the enemy has 3, you should be fighting. Or like if if you're like 3 and they're 5, you should not be fighting. You should be farming. And then there's another thing that is you look at your spells, and then you look at your items. So these are the three things. Usually, when you smoke yourself, it's when you finish an item. Let's say you finish a BKB. Then you want to look for a fight with BKB and smoke. Or like, even like you finish a Maelstrom, you can look for a fight. But like, if you have like a lot of gold, you should not be fighting. Right now you can't have a lot of gold. You have a shard coming, and you have 1.5k gold that you're not using. You should be farming your next item, and then it's impossible for them to fight you. Then you win for free. Right now you're kind of giving them a chance to win because you're not fighting with your next item.
So like, so I complete my BKB and then I fight. Is that what you suggest?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You're just more consistent to play that way.
All right. I wait my chrono and I get my BKB up, and then is when I show up.
Yeah. I mean, you can also try to fight with your next chrono, but like right now you don't have any of the two. You don't have BKB and you don't have chrono. You cannot play with items you had 5 minutes ago. You had the Maelstrom and this Maul for 5 minutes now. You haven't actually gotten way stronger since 18 minutes ago. So imagine you finish a BKB, right now. Let's say you have BKB right now. You're so much stronger than you were a second ago. Right now you're the same strength as 5 minutes ago.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how you should be thinking. Levels are honestly negligible in how strong you are, except for certain heroes. Like, it worked out this game, but a lot of other games it would not work.
Yep. Somehow it did.
Replay,
I'll give
wanna
you
look at-
one more. I'll give
Yeah.
you one more replay.
that's fine.
This is the game where I was doing well in the lane. I'm playing mid, and then after that, I was actually kind of clueless. I didn't know what to do, honestly. Because one sec, I'll just give you the replay.
I'm gonna get some water real quick.
Yeah,
back.
sure.
Oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
Right here? Yeah.
Yeah. I sent you a replay. Honestly, X, I would like if you can just suggest me some heroes for this MMR. I don't know. It's just at times I just feel so. At times, just people just don't want to push with you and all of that. Like,
I think
it's
you should just play a hero that farms fast.
all right. Something like Alchemist or AM.
Alchemist works. I don't think AM is the best. AM is actually a pretty complicated hero. Terrorblade is easier. I don't know. What do you play? Like, is there any like fast forward?
I can actually learn anything. That's fine. Like I play a lot, but
I mean, for example, Terrorblade would be a good hero for you to learn because the
maybe.
hero just
Alright.
farms really. The hero farms really fast, and he can jungle even if your lane mate sucks. You can like jungle level 3, and then later on you can like 1v5 if you're really farm. You just need to learn how to farm on the hero. I need to just know that you need to farm a lot on the hero.
Alright.
What hero are you again in this game?
I'm Storm. I'm Storm.
Okay. So here's one problem is that you're almost dead from the rune. Okay, so here I can see a micro problem, as in like how you micro. So you cannot run past heroes like this. Like in general, even in a fight, really, running past heroes isn't good. Like
All
the
right, I
only
was actually just trying to get the rune,
yeah
but
yeah.
I guess that's not worth it.
But I can already see that there's a problem with what you're thinking, right? How you're thinking about the game. You take so much damage here that you're gonna die. Like it's not worth it. And also, I can see you like make this mistake in like certain team fight. Like you try to kill a certain hero and run past a hero or something. But you need to respect heroes that are standing next to you. Like the only heroes that can jump backline are heroes that actually has mobility spell. Like imagine like I don't know, like a Luna trying to run past this three heroes and trying to kill a hero on the backline. Right? It doesn't really work.
Yeah.
The only way you do it is if you have you cannot ignore heroes in front of you. Is what I'm trying to say. It's just not possible. The reason you almost die here is because you ignore the BB and you try to go for the rune. So you might be struggling on the lane now because of the fact that you lost a lot of region. I'm not sure. Maybe he punishes you, maybe not. We'll see. I mean, I'll just tell you this: if this Tiny knows what he's doing, there's no way you lane with the HP you have. So unless you buy a salve right now, you're gonna die. I don't know why he's avalanche. I guess it's for runes or something. I have no idea.
All right. I mean, yeah, of course he's like bad and stuff.
Yeah, so the one thing you just need to think about is another thing I told you about laning phase, right? Is resource management rather than right clicking last hitting skills.
All right.
What I mean with that is HP. So let's say you're solo HP that cannot go for a creep or deny a creep. That's the best, most consistent way to win a lane. Because just purely relying on being better at last hitting is very unreliable. Because even if you're the best last hitter and the enemy is the worst, you can lose that CS. Like it's like maybe it becomes like a 70-30 instead of 50-50, right? Which is a little bit better. But if you know how to make the enemy so low HP that they cannot lane, then you will win the lane every time.
All right.
So if you want to win lanes, what you need to do is you need to learn how to when to hit the enemy and nuke the enemy, for example.
When to last it, yeah.
And the main way to win a lane is you push the lane and then start right clicking the enemy. So it's the reason you need to push the lane is because then you have creep advantage, and when you hit him, he cannot hit you back because he gets aggro on more creeps than you. Another thing is you need to learn how to micro away from the enemy creeps. What I mean with that is like, for example, you hit the enemy tiny here, right? You'll get aggro of the creeps, enemy creeps.
Yeah.
And if you stand still, they will keep hitting you. Right?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is you need to hit him and run back. Hit him and run back. Hit him and run back. If you look, like, you maybe never thought about this, but if you look at me play like a range hero or like some high level pro do it, they will always do this. They'll always hit the enemy and then run back a little bit because they don't want to tank the creeps. But you barely actually even trade well if you tank the creeps. So you hit them and you run back all the time, and you push the wave.
So you constantly keep the cycle up and like you make them lose the HP and all of that, yeah?
Yeah, that's a main thing that separates good laners and bad laners. But the good laners knows how to play resource game. Everyone misses CS. Like you definitely have seen me miss CS, and other top pros. But it honestly does not matter that much. It's the other things are way more important on laning phase.
All right.
Yeah, if this Tiny was a little bit better, he skills E instead of W, and he can kind of zone. Like, let's say he's good, right? I'm just like imagining like the resource game. let's say he's a little bit better. He has E. He takes a tree, and he runs up to you. You cannot lane. You need to miss all these creeps. Because you cannot go for CS. If you go for CS, you die. That's the resource game. Also, you should queue up ball at the start. I don't know if you're distracted or whatever, but you can queue up items at the start of the game. So you don't forget.
Yeah.
You actually have ball for a while already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually win your lane, which is very surprising. Not gonna lie, because of the fact that you started with minus 500 HP. Let me see. How did you actually kill him? You just let him. You just let you hit him.
I actually got my bottle and I started bottling up. So
No, but you actually killed him before it. Oh, actually no. Oh, you just got your ball. I see.
Yeah.
I see. But
I was
I'm
kinda
just
lucky.
thinking. I'm just thinking, how did you trade so well compared to him? I guess he just has no. Yeah, I guess you're. Yeah. I don't know. I guess he didn't skill properly or something. Okay, it's good. You're winning your lane. But the main thing is to think about is just push the wave and then hit the enemy and kite him.
In this game, I actually have a good lane, and I just lose the game because I didn't know what to do. Like mid game, I didn't know what am I supposed to do.
Let me guess. I think you overfight and you throw your advantage. So let's see what happens.
I super overfight actually.
Yeah, because what I could already see from avoiding him is you overfight. As in, like, let's say a normal core player, 90% of the time they farm, 10% of the time they look for a fight. You are more like 50-50.
Sounds like envy. Anyways. So right now I'm trying to get some neutral items because now he just stuns me and like tosses, and that's like so much damage.
Yeah. This matchup is slightly tiny favored. Oh shit, you're dead. Okay, let's see what happens. What happened here? So you're running top because there are 3 and they're diving your tower, which is viable play. You kill the Zeus for free, which is very good. You try to go for the BB, which is okay. I guess the only you actually basically played everything perfect. The only problem is that you didn't ulti here when he silences you. Like when you see the time, you should just ulti out. I mean, these are like whatever mistakes. Sometimes it happens. Like everyone makes mistakes. Not the biggest deal. If you TP top to fight, that's fine. Okay, now you go to farm actually, which is the right move. Okay, now you kill this guy, which is good. If you kill him. But another thing, as you can see on mid laners when you fight, is that you will be out of mana and HP. So the biggest difference between carry and mid is that mid has way harder time managing mana and HP. Carriers usually just have to like manage their HP, and usually they even play a hero that's like Morbid Mask, and they don't have to carry at all. They just get full HP from jungling. Mid laners run out of mana and HP all the time, especially when you fight. So what I'm trying to say is just like, let's say you don't get this kill, you're completely fucked in the game. So let's say you try to kill this BB and he survives with 1 HP, right? You have no resources, you can't even jungle, and you need to go back to base. You're like wasting a lot of time. Compared to like, let's say you just jungle here, right? Let's say you just, instead of going top, you jungle here. You'll be farming so much. But if you don't, but if you take this fight and you don't kill him and you use all your mana, you can't farm any of this and you just run straight base. You're just losing a lot of money. I'm just using this example to tell you, like, if you fail a play as a mid laner, it's very punishing. So
I'm actually always very confused on like Storm, because whenever I go for a kill, it's like hardly any mana left.
Yeah, it's just the design of the hero.
Yeah.
It's just how it is, really. I mean, the only difference between you and a better Storm player is Storm player chooses what kills they try to go for. So you need to try to play smarter, right? Because this hero is very mana intensive. So sometimes you just don't go for a play because you don't think you can kill a certain hero. But this BB kill is for sure worth it, by the way. Like, you're killing the top net worth hero. It's worth it if you can get it. But I'm just saying, in some other games you might not kill the hero because you're not counting your damage. Maybe. And then you completely fuck your own game.
Alright. So yeah, so basically you've gotta choose the kills.
What I try to explain to you is, if you play a hero that requires a lot of mana, and you make a play, and it doesn't work, you're fucked. Like, you actually just ruined your whole game. But that's what I was trying to explain you, like, the last 2 minutes. Like, if you, like, jungling versus killing this guy.
It's more consistent to basically jungle.
Yeah, it's more consistent to just jungle. So, unless you actually was thinking and know that you can kill him, you should be jungling. That's what I'm trying to say.
Would I actually get? Would I personally get more gold if I actually jungled over there? I think I would.
Yeah,
get more
you would.
gold.
If you got the assist kill there, you actually get more gold if you just jungle.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's cool about killing enemy hero is you slow down their hero. That's the main reason you kill an enemy hero. You're slowing down their top net worth hero, which is good. It's very good. And the hero that actually gets the kill gets more money. So here it works out. It's good. Yeah, like imagine you don't kill him again, right? And you don't have regen, then you're fucked. And there are certain games where I also play Storm where this happens, where I chain fight, but I don't get the kill and I'm completely fucked. I have no network. Because I'm going to a fight, I run back to base, I TP, I go up for a fight again and I have no mana. I need to go back to base again. I don't know if you have ever experienced this, but this happens sometimes.
Yeah. This is like the main issue. Like, I have to run back to base this game so many times.
The main thing you need to think about is just to fight smarter. You need to pick your fights. You cannot go. You can't just go for the first hero you see.
Yeah. Also, I couldn't figure out what am I supposed to make this game, because I was really confused. I went for like.
I think the build right now is witch split BKB. On the Storm.
Like BKB. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you're really unsure, you can just go to Dota 2 Pro Tracker, or like you just watch a game of Pro and then you just copy it. Most people do the same build every game. Okay, this is crazy, by the way. What they just did is crazy. So it's very like it's a decent. There's a decent reward, but like this is way too high risk. And honestly, the reward isn't even worth it. So let's just look objectively what happened, right? You're spending like 700 mana to get a haste rune. So use your whole mana pool to get a haste rune, you activate instantly. So the only thing you actually did here is you didn't let the enemy tiny get the rune. Right? Yeah. That's actually the only thing you accomplished. But you're not doing anything with this haste. I mean, the only thing you can like use this haste for is like run back to base.
I know that's what
like, you know, like it's not a very good haste rune for you. So you should just be farming. You should just be farming here with this rune.
Yeah. Now, actually, I just don't have any idea. What am I supposed to do?
This is what I'm saying. This is like you're in this for only fighting mode, right? So what happened just now? Can you explain to me what just happened to you? Like
because I took the haste rune and I spent all my mana. I went back to base, used my TP, TP'd back to fight. Now I don't have a TP and
you automatically run back to base again.
Game, yeah.
So you literally fucked yourself by going for this rune. Because you can free farm. You can free farm instead of going for this rune.
Yeah, that was impulsive.
Yeah, so what you could have done, I'm just gonna show you exactly what you could have done, right? So you have 64 CS. You have the same CS 3 minutes later. I'm pretty sure. But you can farm this camp. You can farm this camp. You can farm this camp. You can farm this wave. You can farm this jungle. You know, like you can farm so much gold. You can farm like 1 to 2k gold during this time. 1k gold at least. If you don't make this haste play. What happens here is you take this haste. 64 CS. Yeah, 64 CS at minute 1350. You get 2 CS. Do you die here? That's even worse if you die. You don't. You had 64 CS at 1350. Remember. 64 CS at 1350. It's 2 minutes ago now. And now you start farming. So in 2 minutes you farm like 4 creeps.
So what do I do? Like they're diving my T2 over there.
Haste was the problem. I'm telling you. So this is what happened to you, right? You took the haste. You took the haste. You took the haste and you ran back to base. And then now you're looking for a place to TP and there's a fight all of a sudden. And then you TP to the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, joining this fight was honestly fine. It's mainly just the fact that you wasted so much resources going for the haste. And also, let's say you're just jungling now, right? Instead of taking the haste. I mean, I already know that you get the point about the haste, but I'm just trying to explain exactly how bad it was. You would have some mana to take this fight, and you will be here earlier. Let's say you're just jungling here with your Q, right? You're jungling here. You can TP when they're diving. So let's say here when they're diving your axe, you just TP tier 2 and you just kill them, like already. You will have been here early. You're late because you TP'd base. You have been here already. You could have grabbed him under the tier 2. So you're even slow to the fight and that's why you don't kill this PB. Like you might think like these things don't matter sometimes, but like when you look back into the replay you can see how much they impact the game. Like just one small haste rune thing.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
And then you die instantly. Sad. When you start, you're like, let's farm, and then you just die. I mean, this is just unlucky. I mean, like, there's nothing you can do really to avoid this death. The one thing I can tell you though is that sometimes it's safer to farm waves than jungle. You just have to read the game. So in this game right now, this is safer than this. You know. Some games jungling is safer than wave.
What do I make? Like right now against the silencer, I actually went for Eels. Is that a good call?
It's pretty bad. I think Eels doesn't do anything. I mean, it just also too expensive. It doesn't give you any damage. It barely gives you survivability. It just gives you a purge. You get BKB if you want to survive. Yeah, also you just take risk for no reason, right? So this is like the same thing as like the first game. You're just hitting a tower for no reason. Farm, right? You should be farming. You should be hitting the creeps in the jungle right now.
Yeah. Cool.
Instead of hitting this tower. So hitting this tower also makes you go for the next wave the way you do. Because you would not be running like this if you were jungling, right? You should be jungling. But because you're hitting this tower, you're like, okay, I'm gonna skip the next wave. Because I want to be efficient. You want to be quote unquote efficient. Because you can kill the next wave faster if you run past the tower. But it's so risky, like there's no point. You want to minimize risks in Dota. I mean,
I honestly expected them to be fighting mid or something, but yeah, like if I'm pushing their T2, of course they'll come.
Yeah, but you need to actually see like 5 heroes to know that they're fighting. You probably saw like 1 or 2 heroes, and I assumed they were fighting, but they're not. In general, people don't play as 5. And especially low rec, I think. But like even top pros a lot of times don't know what's happening on the map. They just you just minimize risks taken, but there's less risk of you dying. Yeah, so I just see you fight, right? Like, you know, I was saying that you 50-50 farm and fight. I actually feel like you're like more like 70-30 fight. to farm.
Yeah, yeah. I end up
So,
fighting a lot this game. Plus,
yeah,
I actually absolutely mess my game up because they would be they would be diving the tower, and I buy back, and I forgot my TPs on CD. So yeah,
yeah. So the problem
that's
is for sure. I can see the biggest problem you need to fix in your gameplay is you need to farm, and you only take smarter fights with item timings or cooldowns or numbers in general.
yeah.
Like you just need to take very smart fights. You look for too many fights. And also another thing I want to tell you is mid lane is the lane to fight. If you don't want to fight, don't go mid. People naturally walk mid actually. Also in all brackets. In my bracket too. If people wants to fight, they just run mid. Something to think about.
All right. So like you're not talking about the hero, you're talking about the lane.
Yes, the lane mid. As in like
Yeah, yeah.
if you want to farm more gold, you need your next item you play here. Or here. Instead of mid.
All right.
People
Yeah.
naturally are here. You'll
All
notice.
right.
Like maybe you never thought about it, now you will think about it. Now you will notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like now you just died and then you just tip it in and you died again, right? Isn't that what's happening?
Yeah.
Actually,
I,
you didn't even tip it.
I
You just ran all the way mid. So you died. You run all the way mid,
I actually
and then you just
I thought
die.
I should kill the silencer because that's the problem which I was facing. But yeah,
That is correct, but I'm just talking.
yeah, it's
These
not
are
worth it.
small.
It's not worth it. Yeah,
No. These are good thoughts, but these are small things, and these things change every single game, right? Like the fact that silence is the problem or whatever that changes every single game. You cannot just be like, I mean, most games you can't say I want to kill a silencer first. But like I'm just saying that this is not like the game. This is not what's gonna push you to the next level. What's gonna push you to the next level is you need to farm more creeps, my friend, and fight when you actually are strong
yeah.
with a new item. That's what's gonna push you to the next level. And actually wanting to farm. Because what I can see from your gameplay is you want to fight too much. You should want to farm and then fight when necessary. If you get bored,
How do you? Yeah,
if you get bored and you want to fight a lot, you should play support. Because supports job is kind of just die and fight and trade themselves.
yeah.
Of course, you need to farm and you need to scale. I mean, okay, I can also see the reason you are fighting all the time is because you always go mid when you play mid. You always go to this lane. Have you noticed that? I feel like you always go to this lane.
Yeah, plus
And
I was actually trying to create space for Luna as well, like in my head. But I guess, as you said, that's not worth it because you should be at this MMR. You shouldn't be doing all of those things, I
yeah.
guess.
So this is the same thing as like the first game, where like you're kind of just poking the enemy hero. So do you see a BB? 0% chance to kill him, right? You cannot kill him solo. Just get the fuck out with your ulti. Like in
Yeah,
the same
fucked
thing
up
as the
actually.
void, right? Like you're hitting a Omni-Knight for no reason.
Yeah.
You should just get out when they run at you, and you cannot kill them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like this is just what keeps happening in this game. You go mid, you're mid again, and you're fighting.
Guess what's happening to
I mean, by the way, let's get. Okay, I'll go back 10 minutes. How many CS do you think you have? 10 minutes ago.
What?
How many creep
Oh,
kills do you think you had 10 minutes ago?
like 64 or something. Yeah.
I think you have 80.
Oh, all right.
Let's see. I'm just guessing, actually. I don't know. I'm just guessing. At 16 minutes. You're 72. So you got 30 CS in 10 minutes. In average, 3 CS a minute. That's pretty low. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna stop beating the dead horse. I'm just saying you need to start farming more.
Alright, man. So like how do I pressure the enemy and like farm? Like I go bottom lane. Bottom lane's the lane to go, and how do I play all of that?
Yeah.
Maybe
So
if you
what you
can.
do? So so there's different types of pressure. Right? One pressure is to just farm a lot, like a Terror Blade free farming and Medusa free farming. That's a lot of pressure. The enemy be like, we need to kill this Terror Blade. We need to kill this Medusa. So by just staying alive, you're winning the game.
All right.
Because the enemy is stressed by just you staying alive and farming. On most mid heroes though, that's not really the case because like it's kind of like your hero's like kind of whatever, right? It's kind of like it's good to get farmed, but it's like not game winning. So you should just farm until you have item that you want to fight with. So the moment
Right.
you finish Kaya, you should be like, okay, let's fight, right? You should be like, I'm strong,
Yeah.
let's fight. But like 5 minutes after you finish Kaya, maybe not so much, because now your Kaya is kind of outdated. You kind of like fighting with outdated technology.
Yep.
So what you should be doing is you should be waiting for
How
your
how do you
new.
how do you decide? Like how do you how do you feel all of this? Like
No, you just
maybe
think
I should
about
get.
fighting every time you get a new item.
All right.
So you finish a Kaya, you can think about fighting. You finish Kaya Sarge, you can think about fighting. You finish a BKB, you can think about fighting. You finish an item, you can think about fighting. Unless the enemy dives you. If the enemy dives you, you should always join the fight. Unless you don't have numbers. Right? Like let's say
Yep.
you're 2 heroes, they're 4, and you should be TPing last. To the fight. So just make sure you have numbers. Yeah, that's basically how, and then the rest of the time you're just farming. I mean, even the most aggressive players in Dota, they are farming cores at least. They're farming 80% of the time. 20% fight they're looking for fights. Even if you look at Thompson, most of the time he will be farming. It's just that he knows when to look for fights better than other people, and he will look for fights a little bit more. Maybe Thompson is maybe 70-30. Like he farms. Everyone still farms a lot. You need to farm. You cannot play a core if you don't farm.
All right.
But it's just being smart about which fights you take.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it for this match. It's just really it. You just need to farm more gold.
Yeah. So yeah, this game then was pretty much over because they were fat and all. And,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a pretty hard storm game too, honestly. Like there's not many free kills in the enemy team. There's actually no free kills in this game. This is actually a terrible storm game. But yeah.
Oh yeah. So how do I I wanted to know a bit about drafting, like if you can.
You can use Dota buff and just look at counters.
All right.
So do you know how to use it? So you go into Dota buff, you pick a hero, and then you can scroll to the bottom and you will see worst against. So for example, let's say in this game you see a Final Lancer, right? And you wanna pick a hero against Final Lancer. You go into Dota buff for Final Lancer, or scroll to the bottom, and you will see worst versus. Lesh, Darkseer, Sandkane, Timbersaw, Necro, Crystal Maiden, Ember, Unlord, Axe, Puck. None of these are carries, but you can also click more and then you will find carries. Sven is the first carry that shows. And Sven is good against Sven Lancer. Then you pick it. I mean,
Right.
sometimes you need to think for yourself too, because they're not always correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah? Do you have any other questions?
Uh. No. Honestly, this is too much to learn, but yeah.
Honestly, there's a lot of things I told you, right? A lot of it is not that important. The only thing you need to think about, really, is farming more and actually wanting to farm, and only fight when you have a new item, or you have, like, the enemy's diving, or you have all your spells and you're just stronger. Like, pick your
Alright.
fight smarter. I'll write that too.
All right. All right, man. That's actually awesome. Hello?
Yeah, I'm just writing these things. Okay. I
Right.
hope you enjoyed. And
Yeah,
good
I
luck.
did. I did. Yeah, that was actually because I always like. Anyways, that was pretty good, man. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you too.
Yep. Have a
Yeah,
good day.
good luck. Bye bye.
By the way, I used to watch you back in the day when
Uh-huh.
you used to play with Fnatic, like
Uh-huh.
with No Tail and company. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
pretty fun days, man. Those
Yeah,
days,
yeah,
really. Like you used to play Tinker and Meepo, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was
like you
before it
guys
was
were the
cool.
you guys were the only guys who would have like the most insane drafts. Like everyone would be doing some meta shit, but you
Yeah,
guys would
yeah,
have
for sure.
some weird aspects.
Yeah. I
Pretty
mean,
fun days.
the main person that suggested that was actually No Tail. Like nobody picked Meepo Tinker, right? He was just like, give this guy Meepo Tinker first place. He's a genius.
Nice, man. Pretty nice, man. Cool.
Yeah.
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 Take care, bro.
Good luck. You can
Yeah.
also stay in touch. Let me know if it worked or whatever, or like, yeah.
All right,
And
man. Yeah.
we'll see what happens. Good luck.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. That was it for the coaching session. If you guys are interested, please check me out on metafy.gg/@excalibur. Thank you, Conan Core, for the 54 months, and thank you, Smart.